Thanks for listening to our daily Bible reading lessons. The lessons today are from Deuteronomy, the 9th through 12th chapter, and I'm happy today. I'm happy today, oh yes, I'm happy today. Probably all of us are familiar with that little children's song. But you know, that song teaches so much about what we want our children to do, and then we need to ask ourselves, is that me? You know, we need to be happy, joyful. In the book of Deuteronomy, as the children of God were about to enter into the promised land, in Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, in verse 7, he says, "Therefore shall ye eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that you put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee." You think about it, here they were children of God, and they were looking for a hope, a promise before them. Whenever we ourselves obeyed the gospel in Acts, the 2nd chapter, you know, we were pricked in our heart. We were glad to receive the word. We were baptized. We were added to the church, which is the body of the saved. We find in Ephesians 1 and verse 3, all spiritual blessings in heavenly places are found in Christ Jesus. We need to realize that we, as the psalmist said of old, we're to serve the Lord with gladness, come before his presence with singing. In other words, our life ought to be a sign, a symbol of joy before others as they see us serving God and doing things in his will. You know, even whenever we go into worship, sometimes people think, you know, the joke is, well, the preacher was doing pretty good until he started meddling. Well, what did he do? Well, he talked about giving. But you know, to a child of God, and we realize that number one, it's a command of God to give on the first day of the week, 1 Corinthians 16, 1 and 2, that the word is to be progressed by that giving. We realize in 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 7, then, the basis of the statement that the Apostle Paul said. He said, every man according he purposeth in his heart. In other words, here it is, I was pricked in the heart, I obeyed the gospel, I'm a member of the church, I give not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth the cheerful giver. You know, I was glad. Like the psalmist said, I was glad when they said, let us go in the house of the Lord. Well, that was a tabernacle. I'm in the Lord's church, going before him to worship. So I sing. I sing with gladness in my heart. I'm like the writer James said, you know, if you marry, let him sing. Well, how much merrier can you get to be in worship of God with those saints surrounding you? But it's not just in worship. The whole of our life, you know, the Apostle Paul, as he wrote to the church at Philippi, he said, rejoice in the Lord always. You know, when am I not to be a person who can find that source, that seat of joy in my life? I'm a child of God. I don't fear what the world's going to do unto me because I know whose I am, where I'm going, the hope that lies before me. And thus, as the writer in Colossians, the 3rd chapter, in verse 23 says, whatsoever you do, do it heartily, as unto the Lord, not unto men. You know, my whole life, 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 31, whether I eat, drink, whatsoever I do all to the glory of God. How much happier than that could I be as I realize that my life is lived for him. I am that shining light that others see, point to him. I am that one who lives in Christ. The children of God in the Old Testament, when you go into the land, here's what you do. He gave them all sorts of commands, and they were difficult, they were challenging. But he said, whenever you do that, rejoice in all that your hand is put unto. Today, am I rejoicing? Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, but if I'm doing the right thing, living for God, rejoice. Sing that little song. I'm happy today, oh yes, I'm happy today. And we as children of God have every reason to be so, every moment of our lives. Thanks for listening, and you have a great day. Be happy today. Thank you again for joining us in this Bible study. We remind you, if you'd like to follow along in our daily Bible reading, The link below in the description of this video will give you the PDF so you can read right along with us. If you have any other questions or if you'd like information on a Bible study, contact us with the information provided on the screen before you.